Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to our podcast, our initial podcast, our first on our new network. And I'm excited about it. I really am. This is the uh, inaugural uh, placement. And being that we are a new podcast, being that this is a new venture for us. I wanted to make sure that we address the things that we need to. And so I'm excited about this um, being the first time we're going to be talking about the Eagles. And what I'm trying to do is to find where I put the pictures, because what I want to do is I want to go over the Eagles schedule. I want to talk about the schedule. Um, Again, this is our inaugural um, broadcast, and being that it's our inaugural broadcast, one thing I've learned is that what can go wrong will go wrong, and you just have to flow with it. But I want to welcome you. I want to welcome you to um, Eagles Nation fan the fan cave, the Eagles Nation fan cave here on YouTube. And what I want to do is to um, come here, and what we'll do is, like I said, we are going to be covering the news, the reviews, and previews of different things concerning the Philadelphia Eagles. Um, Let me pull up the Philadelphia Eagles schedule because uh, we want to talk about that. We're not going to look at the preseason. We're going to look at the regular season, and we're going to talk about that. And here's the reason why, because I think it's important that we discuss um, what the Eagles have already done. I know I had been thinking about how to go about broadcasting um, our inaugural broadcast, and I decided not to do it until after the draft, mainly because I think in many cases the draft, coming up to the draft, is so much conjecture and so much um, hypothesis and not enough solid information. So I wanted to wait until after the Eagles had made their selections, and to discuss some of the things that have transpired as a result after the draft. And I'm very, very happy, very, very happy with the draft, and some of the players that we've uh, received or drafted, namely Jordan Davis um, is probably um, one of the uh, top tier um, draftees that we've had in a long time, and I'm really, really happy with what we did. Howie Roseman really showed himself to be, um, I think, the toast of the town in the people that we picked up, and I'm really, really um, uh, pleased. Um, Picking up Jordan Davis was probably one of the top choices that we've made, probably since um, uh, I don't know, Reggie White maybe, but I mean, it's still, we have to see. We have to see because you haven't played it down. But I'm also pleased with Jason Kelsey's choice of or helping to choose Cam Jurgens as from Nebraska as the center that's going to come after him. Whether that's going to work out, that remains to be seen as well. But at least he has had some say in choosing his replacement, which says to me that Howie Roseman has matured, grown, and become more comfortable with being a GM, and I think more accepting of the views of other people, where that may have not been the case in years gone by, especially when Kelly was here. So I'm really pleased with the pick of the second round pick at the 51st selection of being Cam Jurgens, but the steal of the draft without question. And I think so many people are trying to negate it and ignore it, but Nakobe Dean is the steal of the draft. The third round, dropping to the third round for the Butkus Award winner is absurd. Whether he was hurt or not, but I so appreciate Howie Roseman for taking chances on people who are injured, and reaping the benefit on the back end, as he did with Dickerson. And he's done that before. That it hasn't paid off, but I'm still pleased with the fact that he did take Nakobe Dean in the third round, and I believe that it's going to show extreme dividends very, very quickly. I think Nakobe Dean has a real big chip on his shoulder, and there's going to be a lot of people to pay as a result. I believe that he's probably going to, whether he's going to play the will or the mic stands, we'll have to see. But I don't see how you're going to keep the Butkus Award winner off the field. I don't see how you can do it. Whether that means that TJ Edwards plays less, or it doesn't play at all, or we ship him somewhere else, or we Devion Taylor doesn't play as much, or Sean Bradley. But the bottom line is you can't keep the Butkus Award winner on the sideline. This is a generational talent, and being a generational talent, you have to make room for him. All things being equal, if he plays well enough, he has to earn it. He's a rookie. He's going to have to earn it, but he should get first round consideration, even though he's dropped to the third round. He is a first round choice, and should have been the first linebacker off the board, but he wasn't. I am so happy also with our sixth round pick, Kyron Johnson, who's also a linebacker, probably going to be more of a special teamer by his own admission. He's looking forward to be a special teamer that's going to wreak havoc on special teams. But it has been said that he will also spot Hassan Reddick as well, because Hassan Reddick is going to be probably a key component of our defense, but he's going to have to be spotted from time to time. And from what it's being said is that Johnson is going to be able to fit in those shoes very well, and to probably be a mini Hassan Reddick, in the absence of him spotting Reddick. So I'm happy with that pick as well. Now, one of the other picks that I felt that needed to be dealt with, because I felt that the Eagles were very thin at the tight end position. After the current tight end, Dallas Goedert. After Goddard, I was really concerned with the tight end situation that we were dealing with, because Tyree Jackson was hurt, and he is a converted tight end from quarterback, which doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to be a good tight end. He's having some difficulties staying on the field. He's been hurt. And then there's Jack Stoll. And Jack Stoll is not nearly known for having good hands. He's more of a blocking tight end. So we went to the 6th round and drafted Grant Calcaterra out of SMU, which he had some issues at Oklahoma where he was hurt, had a series of concussions and retired from football, but decided to give it another shot, and supposedly played with Jalen Hurts, also played with not just Jalen Hurts, but also with the other quarterbacks that came through Oklahoma as well. So we'll see how he fares as well. So I'm really happy with the draft. I'm really happy with what Howie Roseman did with the draft, and being that we acquired A.J. Brown, which is probably next to Nakobe Dean is the probably actually when we talk about the steal of the draft, it's Nakobe Dean, but the steal or the acquisition of the offseason is A.J. Brown, without question, from Tennessee. And so what he brings us is that toughness, I think, that we lacked. And I'm looking for more leadership. I believe that he's going to offer us more leadership in the receiver room. Even though he's a young guy, he's had 3 years in the league. So I think he's going to offer us some leadership that we don't have right now. I'm happy about that as well. I believe, people were talking about the drafts and the pickups that we've made. Reddick is an awesome pickup as well. So we've done some things. We've made some tremendous strides in the off season, and I'm really excited for what we're going to put on the field. And being a person born and raised in the Delaware Valley, I'm really excited for what we're going to be placing on the field in the next few years. For the next few years, I think that we have some new and young talent coming in. That's very going to be very critical. Now, I wanted to address one area that's concerned. It seems to be concerned of a lot of people, and that is the secondary. And the secondary being the safety and the cornerback, the CB2 and the cornerback. I should say the other safety. And I'm not sure if it's going to be a problem. I think we've got enough. It's totally up to Howie. There's a number of ways that we can go about it. We can use the talent that we have. We have a number of cornerbacks that I'm sure there is going to be some talent there. The amount of cornerbacks that we brought in through the unrestricted, undrafted free agents, and also some of the players that are already here, whether they were on the roster, on the practice squad. We have so many choices that I'm not sure if we need to go out and make a deal. I hear about McPherson. I hear, so we'll see. We'll see what it looks like. We have so many cornerbacks that I think there is talent there, and I think some of them have been around long enough to and gain the experience that they'll be more comfortable this year as opposed to the time that they may have been rookies or getting used to a new system, as all of the defense was with the new defensive coordinator. So it comes to the place now that we're going to, as a part of the EagleNation FanCave, we're going to be going. We're going to be at the games. We're going to be going to the games. and we will be at training camp. So we'll give you a view of some of those kinds of things as well this season as we prepare to I believe win the division this year. I believe we are the team to beat in the NFC East, and I believe that we owe the Dallas Cowboys thorough butt kickings because of what they did and how they ran up the score on us last year. So I believe all is fair in love and war and in the NFL. I don't believe I believe in taking no prisoners. So I believe, and I'm hoping that the Eagles will do the same and oblige the Cowboys with like manner of what they treated us with this past season. So I'm hoping that the Eagles will come out and put it to them. I'm hoping they'll come out and put it to them. So let's look at the Philadelphia Eagles schedule for this year, and let's talk about it real briefly. I don't want to look at the preseason. Even though we have it, we're going to have the Jets in. We're going to be at the Browns, and we'll be at the Miami Dolphins. I don't care anything about those things. All I'm looking at is week one when we go to the Lions. I believe it's 9/11, and we'll be in New York, and so I'm sure that they will pay homage to the tragedy of 9/11. But I'm sorry, we're not going to be in New York. We're going to be in Detroit. We're going to be in New York. Our first preseason game, which is not at 9/11. I'm confusing the two, so excuse me for that. But we'll be at the Lions. I think that we've handled the Lions pretty well over the last few years, and I think that that's going to continue. I don't think that the Lions have what it takes to beat us. So I think that will be a win. I'm not going to be wimpish about these. Our second game is an 8:30. I believe that's a Monday night game against the Vikings, and I believe that even though the Vikings may play us tough, I believe that's going to be a win as well. The next week 3, is going to be against the Commanders in DC and at FedEx Field. I believe that's going to be the 25th. It will be a 1 p.m. game. I believe that we will win that. It will be Carson Wentz first time playing us as the new quarterback of the Washington Commanders. I believe that will be a win as well. And then the week 4, the Jags, and we'll be playing against our Super Bowl winning coach. And I do, even though that he will be the coach, he's no longer our coach. And I do believe that will be a win. I do count that as a win as well. So we right now we stand at in the month of September. I believe that we're going to be undefeated. I believe that we're going to be 4-0 in the first 4 games, and then the cards I will have on out there at the State Farm Stadium in Arizona. I am of the mindset that we can beat this team. And the reason we can beat this team, namely, is because their number one, their wide receiver, DeAndre Hopkins, won't be playing because of the suspension. They did get the player from the Ravens, I believe is Hollywood Brown, and but Hollywood Brown, in my opinion, is really not a number one. He's not a wide receiver 1. I believe he's a 2. I don't think that that's going to fare well for the Cardinals. I think we can beat the Cardinals. There. And so I'm going to count that as a win. So I'm saying that we are 5-0. I'm saying that we are 5-0 in our first 5 games. We can win all 5 of them. And I'm not going to play down to anyone. I know I get it. We're going to lose some games that we should win, and we're going to win some games that we should lose. But I'm going to go with what it looks like now, and it'll work itself out. But I'm going to go ahead and be as honest as I can be relative to our schedule. Now the next one is, and it's really cool because we get our next week 6. We play the Cowboys, and we're going to be playing them at home. I'm of the mindset that it'll be payback time. We will get an opportunity to put one on them, and I think we're going to do that. I think we're going to put one on them, and I'm saying that we're going to go into the bye because after the Cowboys, we will go into our bye. It's an early bye, but that's fine. We'll go into the early bye with a lot of people having some thoughts about our team, because I'm saying we're going to be unbeaten to that point. The next coming out of our bye, and one of the things that bother me is we haven't been playing well coming out of the bye, especially early within the game. We haven't come out and played well, but we will be having the Steelers, and I believe we've put it on the Steelers pretty good for the last few times we've played them, and I think that's going to continue. We will be at home for that game, so I'm going to count that as a win. I'm going to count it as a win. Some folks are going to say, "Oh, you are really taking it to the max." Yes, I am. I believe in the Philadelphia Eagles, and I believe this schedule is one of the weakest schedules. And if we can't win these kind of schedule games, then I don't know if we're going to be the type of team that's going to be able to represent the NFC East in the way that we need to. The next game is going to be a away game at the NRG Stadium in Texas against the Texans. I'm going to say that the Texans, not sure they're going to be where they're going to be as a team. I think with the newness of quarterback and coaches, I don't think that they're going to do well. So I think that's going to also be a win. I really do think that that's going to be a win as well. Week 10, we're back with Washington again, and I'm going to say that it will be a game at the Link, and I'm going to again give us a win. I'm not playing. I really feel that we have the team to be able to win these games. And sure, we may not win everything, but I believe that we're going to do really, really well with this team. The next game in Week 11 is a 1:00 game. After playing the Washington Redskins on I believe it's going to be a Monday night game. We'll come back to on Week 11 with the Colts, and sure, the Colts. I believe the Colts have Matt Ryan now as a quarterback. And before that, they had Carson Wentz. I'm thinking that their quarterback situation is unsettled. I believe that Matt Ryan is really a transitional quarterback. They are in trouble. I think the defense should have a field day on Matt Ryan at Lucas Oil Stadium, and I'm calling that a win. I am because I think that we have the team, the horses, to get to Matt Ryan on a consistent basis. The next game, Week 12, is at the Link. It's against the Packers. Now we have a mixed kind of history with the Packers. We've beaten them. They've beaten us. I think the Packers can be beaten. I think we can beat them, and if we're going to beat them, it will be because we are at the link. It will be at the link. We can beat them. I think it's possible to beat them. I think we will probably lose this game, but it's going to be close. It's going to be close with a possibility of winning it. So I'll give that as being our first loss. I'll give it as being our first loss of the season. So what I'm looking at us as being 10-1 to this point, 10-1 as we prepare for the Titans in Week 13. I really think that the Titans at the link is a win. So I'm not. Derrick Henry doesn't frighten me, and Tannehill definitely doesn't frighten me. So I think that our defense will bode well. It will be something that I think will be a test, especially for our front seven, because I think the front seven is going to be tested by Derrick Henry, but I think that we are up to the challenge. The next game, Week 14, is with the Giants, and it is at MetLife, and I count that as a win as well. I'm not even going to go into why. Yeah, it's the Giants. Okay, so we'll go. I believe we'll go well. We'll do well with in that game as well. The next game is at Soldier Field, and we'll be playing the Bears. And the Bears, I don't think their quarterback situation is settled. I think Fields will play, but I'm not sure how good he's going to be. I will say that we want to win that one too. I call that a win. The next one is the Cowboys, and I'm going to say that we're going to lose this one. We're going to split with the Cowboys, which is something that I would love to do with them to them what they did to us last year. But even though they played us at the end of the season and we didn't play all our players, but they put 90 points on us in both games last year. So I want over 90 points, and I want to pay that back. But I more importantly, with this record that we're going to put and the preparation for going into the playoffs, maybe it would be best that not that we lose the game, but we may have to look at not preparing and maybe sitting some people or maybe we'll see, because it's late in the year. We're talking about this game is going to be Christmas Eve, and that may be incentive for people to play and to play well, because will be the only. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to change that and say that, call it a win, because people we want to put on a show for the national TV audience, and I'm going to say that we're going to put it back on them like they did on us, and I'm hoping that that's what's going to happen. After that, Week 17 on New Year's Day, we're going to have the Saints at home. I'm going to call that a win. I'm going to call that a win. And then and that's going to be against Jameis Winston. I think that's going to be a test for our secondary. Jameis Winston likes to throw the ball, and he likes to throw deep. So it'll be a test for our secondary. So we're going to need to make sure that we're playing well in order for that to be a win. And then our last one will be the Giants again. I don't care if it's a win or loss. I think we'll win, but I don't care, because we're going to rest people in preparation for the playoffs. I think by that time, it won't matter whether we win or lose that game, because the most important thing is preparing for the playoffs. So I'm going to say it's a win. I'm going to call it a win. I'm not going to give the Giants a break, but that may be one of those games that we should win but lose because of us resting players. So whether we lose or win that one, I really don't care. So even though I say that we can win it, I'm gonna say we're gonna lose it, and I'm saying we're gonna lose it because we're not gonna have our primary players playing. So what we're talking about is basically a 2-loss season. It That's incredible. Where we will win some that we're supposed to lose, and we will lose some that we're supposed to win. So I'm saying that looking at the schedule, we will go 15-2, but I would be more in line with a 13-4 schedule. It's saying that we'll be somewhere around that. Even though looking at the schedule, I'm saying that we should, looking at these wins, but looking at the fact that we will lose some that we should win and win some that we should lose. I'm going to say that we'll probably have a season of 13-4. I'm going to go with a 13-4 record for the Eagles for this season. I'm excited. I will be at games. I will be there. I will be recording. I will be taking you there with us and showing you some of the scenery there at FedEx Field, at the link. And I will probably be going to FedEx as well, because I want to see Carson Wentz up close and personal. So we'll be doing some of those things too. So I'm excited. I'm excited about our season, and we're going to, I think, represent well. We have Howie Roseman has done a tremendous job. I think that the coaching will come into question. Gannon has to do a job with our defense. I'm waiting. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does with our defense, because our defense wasn't that good yet last year, but I think we've got some ballers now, and I think that that Gannon needs to show us something this year. As does Sirianni. Sirianni's got to show us something this year offensively. I expect to see some things happen in our passing game. I expect our passing game to be more of a threat this year than it's been. I expect our running game to be more than efficient. I'm looking for Miles Sanders to have a breakout year. He should be upset. He didn't score a touchdown last year, which I'm highly upset about, and I'm sure he is too. And I'm sure that the team will get him on track early, so that he can redeem himself and just show that it's a contract year. He has to really show that he's ready to do some things, and that he's worth his weight in being able to get paid this after this coming year or whatever. So I'm looking forward to this year highly, as you can tell. I'm again 13-4 is the worst, and I'm going to say 15-2 is our best. So anything between 13 and 15 wins. That's what I'm saying. We're going to get between 13 and 15 wins this season. And some folks are saying 10. We had 9 last year, and with the improvements we've made, and to say that we're just going to win one more game, I think is absurd. We're going to win much more. I think we're going to play much better on both sides of the ball. I think Howie Roseman has done an excellent job of filling in holes, and I'm not even sure he's done. I still think that there's a possibility of the cornerback and the safety positions being addressed after, like he's done in the past, after the cuts have been done. So Howie Roseman is a genius, and whether you like him or not, the things that he's been doing are moves that no other GM has been doing. The closest one is the GM with the Jets, and he used to be here with us. So a lot of the teams are coming and gleaning people from the Philadelphia Eagles back office. But one thing is remaining, and that's Howie. And I'm sure that we're going to find good people to replace those that are leaving. So I'm proud of our team. I'm looking forward to what's going to happen this year. And the EagleNation FanCave is in full effect. We are going to take you with us as we travel and go around the league and visit some of the venues and represent Philadelphia and the Delaware Valley as a native son and a displaced native son. And so I'm still ecstatic about representing here in the Washington, D.C. area. I will not take down. I will continue to represent the Philadelphia Eagles as I always do wherever I go in the DMV, and very proud of being an Eagle fan for a long, long time. I go way back. So I'm pleased and looking forward. So until it's time to close it up and listen, we're going to be back real soon, and we're going to be adding some interviews and some views of and hopefully connect with some of the other Eagle content creators and be able to discuss and to talk about the Philly fever that we have, because we have Philly fever over here, and excited about what the Philadelphia Eagles are going to be putting on the field in 2022. So until our next broadcast, we're out.